Runway excursions at landing are where the most common aviation accidents occur, and a significant safety and economic concern for the air transportation industry worldwide. Runway Overrun Prevention System, known as ROPS, is an Airbus technological invention to help prevent these types of accident. During the aircraft approach and landing, ROPS continuously monitors whether the aircraft can safely stop on the remaining length of runway. ROPS is embedded in the aircraft avionics and has access to all of the parameters that affect the landing distance of the aircraft. ROPS also has access to a runway database on board the aircraft, which contains the key runway characteristics. ROPS starts monitoring under 500 feet. Based on real-time conditions, ROPS continuously calculates where the aircraft can stop safely for either a dry or wet runway. The strength of ROPS is the ability to immediately take into account changing conditions that impact the stopping distance of the aircraft. For example, if the wind increases, the aircraft is now traveling faster over the ground and will need more distance to stop. If there is a risk of overrun on a wet runway, the message, "If wet, runway too short," appears. By procedure, if the runway is wet, the flight crew should go around, or if the runway is dry, the flight crew may continue the approach. If there is a risk of overrun on a dry runway, the runway too short message appears.
Runway too short! Runway too short!
Go around flat.
Runway too short! 100.
The procedure is go around. Once on ground, ROPS transitions to on-ground protection. ROPS monitors the current position of the aircraft and continuously updates where the aircraft can stop safely. If there is a risk of runway overrun, the pilots receive alerts to notify them to use all available deceleration means. Brake, max braking, and set max reverse.
30, 20, retard. Brake, max braking, max braking. Set max reverse. Set max reverse.
The all-new Airbus A350 introduces extended functionality to ROPS with a new runway state selector, allowing the flight crew to explicitly input the current state of the runway, from dry to wet to contaminated. Airbus also plans to introduce the runway condition selector for dry and wet runways on A320 and A330 families. To further develop its comprehensive runway safety solution, Airbus, in partnership with NAVBLUE, will introduce new functionalities over and above ROPS alerting to enhance safety at landing. Landing surveillance is a set of monitoring and alerting functions designed to increase flight crew situational awareness during the approach and landing. The altimeter setting monitor is a function able to detect barometric reference setting entry errors. Altimeter setting monitor starts monitoring at transition altitude. Based on real-time conditions, the altimeter setting monitor cross-checks the GPS altitude versus the barometric corrected altitude. The function issues an advisory alert to the crew in case a barometric reference setting error is detected.
Altimeter setting. Altimeter setting.
Altimeter setting monitor is certified and available on A320 and A330 families. Approach stabilization monitor will take the aircraft performance into account to issue an advisory alert in case of height and speed deviations. Taxiway landing monitor will alert flight crew in case the aircraft is not lined up with a runway below a minimum altitude. Airbus and its subsidiary NAVBLUE
continually work hand in hand to develop effective, innovative solutions to improve runway safety and reduce the risk of accidents at landing.